Alonzo Smith Jake Gaither came to work for FAMU, formerly known as FAMC, Florida A&M College, as assistant to head coach William Bell. When Bell left, Gaither was hired as head coach in 1945 and served an historic 25-year career with FAMU football. During his 25 years as head coach, Gaither won 6 national championships. He would send 42 of his players to the NFL, become inducted into the National Football Foundation Hall of Fame in 1975, and also become inducted into the Hall of Fame for his contributions to civil rights movement when it came to black college football. Gaither was the first to integrate the playing of HBCU football, historically black colleges and universities, against PWIs, predominantly white institutions. After all the accomplishments and championships Coach Jake Gaither received during his long and illustrious career, he was asked, what was the biggest game of his coaching career? And he replied, with his victory over the University of Tampa, which gave him the opportunity to showcase HBCU football and the talent of the FAMU football team and their players on a larger playing field. Coach Jake Gaither lobbied for 2 years to play against a white school, and on November 29, 1969, he finally got the opportunity to do so. Fran Kersey, head coach for the University of Tampa at the time, agreed to face off against Gaither and his team. The Florida A&M Rattlers went head-to-head against the University of Tampa Spartans at Tampa Stadium. The game caught the media's attention as this would be the first integrated game in the South where a black school would go directly against a white school. In the end, Gaither was able to lead his team to victory with an historic 34-28 win over the Spartans. This sporting event would be so important to civil rights history. However, this game is commonly overlooked by the Alabama vs. USC game, a game that would occur a year later and take credit for being the first game that integrated Southern college football. On September 12, 1970, the University of Alabama, being an all-white football team, played against the University of Southern California Trojans, a predominantly white team apart from their black quarterback, fullback, and tailback. During the game, USC's black players scored 6 touchdowns, exemplifying their immense talent and contributing to USC's win over Alabama. After watching the game, Alabama's head coach Paul Bear Bryant, a Southern man, reportedly stated, "I have got to get some of those," referring to the black athletes on USC's team. Bryant's reaction to the black athletes later contributed to his decision to offer the school's first football scholarship to a black player the season following the game. Coach Paul Bear Bryant is credited for being a racial activist for integrating Southern college football. Moreover, the Alabama vs. USC game gets the undeserved glory because, like all other points throughout history, it is common for historians to highlight a white hero or savior rather than giving African Americans their due credit for their significance in history. The HBCU football landscape Gaither left behind is much different today than it was back then. In order to get black schools to play PWIs now, the white schools have to pay a hefty amount of money to play against them. For example, on August 29, 2019, Florida A&M football team went head-to-head with the University of Central Florida, resulting in a 0-62 triumph for UCF over FAMU. The white school sees this matchup as practice an easy win for them that is generated into their season lineup, whereas the black school sees this pay-to-play opportunity as a way to make money for their sports team. This has transformed drastically from the initial motive of Coach Jake Gaither, because he saw playing a white school as an opportunity for his black players to gain exposure and showcase their athletic talent. This is a direct effect of PWIs receiving more funding than HBCUs. White schools tend to have more money to allocate because they receive more funding from the state government. This allows them to spend more money on recruitment, which can lure in higher-ranked high school athletes. Furthermore, this gives white schools the opportunity to improve their sports program by renewing their facilities, having state-of-the-art weight rooms, sports gear, training equipment, and more. This attracts more top athletes and black athletes to attend PWIs instead of HBCUs. This forms an obvious disadvantage for HBCUs and their sports teams. If more higher-ranked black athletes attended HBCUs, then that would potentially start to equalize the funding disparity between black and white schools, and could possibly provide an equal playing field for black sports teams. The University of Tampa recently published an article commemorating the 50th anniversary of the first ever NCAA football game between Florida A&M University and the University of Tampa. Moreover, in 2009, Fran Kersey was invited to speak at FAMU's homecoming ceremonies in Tallahassee, Florida, where 20 members of the 1969 FAMU football team returned to celebrate the 40-year anniversary of a game that broke racial barriers. Jake Gaither's legacy and his prominent effect on FAMU and their athletic department still lives on today. In 1963, FAMU built the Jake Gaither Gymnasium, which was formerly the home of the FAMU men's basketball team, but is now used for pep rallies and convocations. In addition, a statue in Coach Gaither's honor sits right outside the Gaither Gym, which remains as a central part of FAMU's culture and history. Moreover, a new development is in the works that once again honors the late Coach Alonzo Smith Jake Gaither, the Jake Gaither Stadium. The state-of-the-art stadium will be the home of a successful athletic program and hopes to increase prospective students and athletes' interest in the university. The stadium is said to have 35,000 seats, 16 luxury suites, 1,076 club seats, and more. With the building of this new development, the school hopes to engage the community, sports fans, alumni, and current students.